Hello, everybody. How's it going? Oh, I don't even have the mic close to me. Hello, everybody. I don't know if you guys heard that, but how's everybody doing? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com, and this is the Early Bird Artcast, episode 4. No, is it 4? I think it's 4. I just wrote it down and now I forgot already. Yeah, it's 4. Um, hope everybody's doing well this morning. Hope everybody's got some interesting, fun activities planned for the weekend, safe activities. And if you're like me and you like to make arts, which most of the people watching I'm sure are, I hope you got some good plans to make some progress with your art projects. I'm going to be working on comics for a little bit. And then I might also work on commissions and stuff. It depends on how long things go and stuff. And I don't know how long this will be, but we shall see. I do want to take a break at some point and run to the post office. So, I'll do this for a little while. And then when I feel like I need a break or it's going to be too late, before the post office closes, I'll stop and then continue my day from there. Um, but yeah, just hanging out. Um, time to get some progress done on Darby Cufflake, Gentleman Avenger of Comics. My goal, what I really want to do here is, I'd love to get this page finished. I mean, the more I get done, the better. But getting this page finished would be great. And today I'm not gonna work 100% on comics. I'm gonna do this, and then I might work on finishing up my commission list, and also I have another project that I'm really craving to play around with. That's kind of secret for now. So I'd really love to, once I've gotten kind of my responsibilities done, if I have time, I'd love to just play around with that. That's not a priority, but I just feel like I need to get to it while I have the inspiration ready and stuff, and at least give it, get a start on it. And it is related to next month's comic too, so hopefully it will be something that's kind of like an added cool bonus, So yeah. So hope everybody's doing well. Let's see. I don't really have specific topics. I should think about that a little more. I know one topic is I need to drink more coffee. I'm tired. Taking a couple big gulps. Got the sirens going by. I don't know if you guys hear that. Yeah, I don't know. The kind of, I don't know what they call that like big siren that sometimes, like, depending on if you live in a town or something where they have these, but it's like at the firehouse, they have like this big, like, kind of like the Batman, the bat signal. Like, they have like this big siren that goes off, and I guess it's to notify the local emergency crew to come to the firehouse and or go to the scene of whatever it is that's going on. And it's kind of an old school method. Like, I don't know why they don't do that in every town, in America, but they still do it here in this town, apparently. So, all right. I did put the invite out for people, in my list to join me. I only have a list of 3, and at least 2 of them may or may not even have the ability yet to do live streams. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, I mean, I don't think anybody's watching at the moment just yet. But if you are, you know, hit me up, you know, if you're interested in coming on, if you're, you know, making some arts and farts as well. And you're like somebody I kind of know to a certain degree, you know, I don't want to, I'm just not just going to kind of put it out to everybody, people I don't know that, you know, I just feel like I'd like to at least get a somewhat of a understanding of who you are before I like actually invite you. But a lot of you guys I know because I'm uh pretty involved with, you know, I always try to stay pretty involved with my associates. No, I don't like that word. My friends online. So if we've commented, if we've exchanged comments a few times here or there, that might even be enough. I'm trying to be inclusive, not exclusive for the most part. Excuse me. So, yesterday I didn't do an early bird art cast. And, you know, things just happen. It's okay. I never said that I'd do them every day. Kind of just doing them randomly. Um, but yeah, it wasn't a possibility yesterday for me to really do it. I wish I could play some music, but I know I might get my like video taken down or whatever. I've been really digging into this punk stuff. I've been talking about it, like the punk rock stuff. And you know, it's been fun for sure, to say the least. So I've been jamming, you know, with the punk rock music and trying to figure out how I'm gonna draw this guy. Um, but yeah, so I've been digging deep into punk, and one thing that's kind of cool is, you know, a lot of us are friends with Kevin Cross, or at least watch his videos or whatever. Um, and you know, he's been in punk bands and stuff, and so I I've been I've already listened to like his music before, at least some of it, but I dug deeper. Um, been digging a little bit deeper, so you know, it's been pretty cool. So I was listening to some of his music. The Fear Agents is one of his bands. Um, Pitch Black was his last, well, kind of his last band before he kind of stopped focusing on music and started focusing more on art. Uh, he actually sent me one of his Pitch Black CDs in the mail at one point, which was awesome that he did that. It was years ago, many years ago, back in the art and story days. And yeah, so I listened to that a little bit, and then I dug deeper. I went into the the album before that because they did two albums, from what I can tell. And Actually, well, no, I probably can't play that because it is on YouTube. You know what I could play though? That probably wouldn't be copyrighted. Like, I mean, that wouldn't, trip up the copyright situation. Is his Barbarian Riot Squad music, which is free on Bandcamp and happens to be one of my favorite, probably one of my favorite music that he's done. Let's see. I have the tape cassette version of um, that album, Barbarian Rag Squad. Trying to think of what the name of that album was. Do 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 do. That's actually not a bad idea to play music from Bandcamp because a lot of times that music isn't stuff that's even on, iTunes or YouTube. It's like, I don't think it would get flagged a lot of times. I mean, I'd have to check for sure, but I know that this one, because I looked it up on YouTube to see if it was there and click the link in the email that we just sent to the address. Why? Why do I have to check my email? I just logged in. I used the right password. Stupid. Uh, so I don't think this. Sorry, I'm trying to log in to my email now, and I'm sure this is super interesting for everybody. Bandcamp. Confirm login. Yes. All right. One order. Oh. All right. Let's go to that. I don't think. I think I am. I need to log in with a different account. Let's see if I could do it this way. Barbarian Riot Squad. I really like his band. Um, he's got his band Nerve Agents was really cool. He also did another group called Big Rig. Um, that was like one of his early ones. I think Nerve Agents is probably the one that he like really like did the most of or whatever. Like they have a few albums, and I think he toured with them a lot. And oh, this might just be in my headphones. I suppose I could change that. I'd have to plug this in, unplug that. Oh, fun. Whoa. I don't know if you guys are going to really be able to hear that, anyways. I can't put it up too loud. But at least I can hear it. All right. So let's see. Anybody in the chat? Yeah, dog. So, all right, let's get back to the arts. Let me put my timer on so I can see, clock in my hours to the Harvest app. I'm getting some decent time in. All this penciling. All right. One thing that's kind of interesting is like I'm so excited about this punk rock stuff, and I'm really just taking a punk rock approach to my comics too. And I'm not letting anything stop me from making comics. Um, and something that's really cool is what's his name? Brandon Dayton. He put out a video about a year ago about how, you know, punk rock can kind of what's the title of it? I'm not sure. Punk rock can like help you in your art, basically the ideas of punk rock. And it's just a really good video, and it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. And it's really Kevin's fault. he, I'd love to find the podcast where it is, and I think it's on, must be on Art and Story. Um, but there's an episode where he really goes deep into, like, he really talks about like the punk rock ethos and how it can inform art and stuff, like the whole like DIY idea and stuff. And I really want to find that episode actually, because, and I don't know, maybe it was a YouTube video. I don't know. It's been a while though, and but it always stuck with me. Like I learned so much just from that. So Kevin's really the one who got me on this, and I've kind of researched punk rock before because of it, a few times, and now I think I'm taking my deepest dive that I've ever taken, and yeah, I don't know, I'm loving it. Actually, this, all right, is that right? I mean, maybe I should just go with it. No, I feel like this should be different. All right, so just talking about talking myself through this, putting this kind of armor on the character, this cosplay armor. I have to remember that too when I'm making this comic. Like, remember, they're only in costumes. They don't actually have real swords. They have play swords and play weapons. And, you know. So, um, so yeah, just I know I keep talking about punk rock, but that's what I'm on right now. That's what I'm into. Um, so yeah, this video Brendan Dayton did though, like, is really good. I mean, check out his channel, his YouTube channel. He talks about it, and basically the biggest things that inspire me is like one thing that Brandon Dayton said actually was, art is for everyone, and everyone can do art, and that's what kind of the punk rock ethos shows us, you know. all you need to do to start a band is have a guitar, learn 2 or 3 chords, and you're good to go. You can start a band. Get somebody else who, can have access to a drum set, even if they don't know how to play. You know, they can learn, and they can kind of figure out enough to make a song, and, you know, don't wait for a record label. Um, Go ahead and find out how you can print up your own music on CDs or vinyl or whatever and do it and make your own. If you don't have the money to print up the like record inserts, go do get a Xerox printer out or whatever and just make something, put it in there. you know Fanzines, the punk rock fanzines or whatever, another thing. You don't have all the equipment to make like a crazy magazine, but most people have access to a photocopier and, you know, throw away magazines and newspapers and anything else that has images and words and just cut and paste until you have something cool to call a fanzine. And I'm taking um, that whole ethos to comics. You know, you don't know how to draw? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Everybody can draw stick figures. Make a freaking comic and shut up. You know. It's funny, they have this song on this album called There Is No God. And obviously I disagree. But it's such an awesome song. I love like I don't love the words "There is no God," obviously, but I do love just the energy of it, and like I picture when they sing like the part where they sing, "There is no God." Like I just picture it like it's so like rebellious. It's so like um I don't know. It's like I just picture them like saying it and like taunting people and like wagging their tongue or something. Like I almost want to animate it. And it's just funny. I don't know. I have like a funny image of it, and I don't know. It's weird. I can't really sing along to it because I believe the total opposite, but at the same time, the energy of it is just pretty cool. But they're wrong. There is a God. That's my opinion, at least. I love Kevin. He's such an awesome dude, and he makes really cool music. Hoping to get him on the channel soon. He's agreed to do it a while back, but we didn't even. I just kind of floated the idea, and he was cool with it, but we didn't ever like really formally try to make it happen. It just wasn't a right time, I guess. But I want to do that soon now, so I'm gonna. I actually already reached out to him, but I'm gonna try to make that happen hopefully soon. And we're gonna talk about music, and how it relates to art and stuff like that. So that's my plan, at least. Oh, here's that song. There is no God. Crazy. That's one thing with punk music is it obviously like the ideology of it sometimes goes very much against, or not against, but like I just disagree with sometimes. But doesn't mean I can't enjoy the music and get the same effects from it. I probably should put out the link that I'm doing a video. So that people can come and watch and say, hey, hey, heyo. All right, let's see. You guys ever have you gone to Facebook on like an actual computer lately? It just feels so clunky now. Like I'm so used to going to all these websites more often than not. I go use my phone, and I don't know. Just is it's weird. It's like I think these websites are made like even more for mobile than they are for desktop nowadays. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. King Comics. All right. Putting the word out to the streets, the hard hitting streets of the internet. Do 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 do. Sweet. All right. Let me share that in a couple groups real quick. And I'll probably throw it on Twitter too. Share. Oh, I got the my own voice going here. That's the only thing with the Barbarian Rag Squad. It's the music is it's done now. I need to find some other kind of music that you know I won't get flagged for. All right, let's see. All right, I want to share this. Share to page, share in friends timeline. Uh, Share in a group. Yay! 100s. One more too. Share in another group. Our casters. Those are the two groups I tend to share stuff in. Oh, I always forget to share it in my own group. I have a Facebook group, guys, if anybody wants to join it. Let's see. Just look up Donkey Jaw Projects on Facebook. I'm not sure if there's a link in the description. I don't remember if I added that yet to this. Oh, yeah, I wanted to jump over to Twitter real quick, too. I guess I could go through some of my other Bandcamp music. Eh, let's see. Paste. Doing a live art stream. Come by, say hi. See what happens. Sweet. All right. Oh, hopefully that'll bring some people in, hang out and chat with me. Cool. All right. Let's get back to the arts. Let's pull out here and see where I'm at. I think that arm looks pretty good. All right. Oh, let's see. I think I am going to put some music on just in my headphones because I don't know. I feel like it'll give me that drive that I need, man. I need that drive. Let's see. Let's get into some more Nerve Agents. I only listened to one full album, I think, and then a couple other songs, maybe two full albums. But I didn't really. I'll just do the YouTube mix. Whoa, that's loud. How do I turn that down? Wow. I kind of forgot how to turn it down though. Like, why isn't it? Oh, I get it. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Try it again. All right. Wow, that was loud. All right. I have a little bit better ability to uh, take care of the volume with my when it's on my phone. Cool. All right. Back to the arts, guys. Let's get back to the arts. I just have to reference the other pages. What is going on here? All right, let's get back to this. This is actually a pretty dynamic angle. Doo doo doo. All right. Hopefully, yeah, I can pull it off in a way that makes sense. I don't really know what's cutting off his feet. I think it's just kind of the angle. Um, Probably just bad planning on my part, but hopefully that makes sense. All right. Suppose I could put a line here indicating the leg. Yeah. Let's see. He must have like mad pouches around his waist. You know what I'm saying? Even in the back, at the very least, they give some cushion for if you land on your tailbone, right? Maybe I'll just kind of flub it. I don't need to draw like all the details. Seize the day. This is a pretty cool song. I love the message of seizing the day. It's very punk rock too, I would say. Mm. Do, 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 do. My wife and I have been listening to what's it called? Beck a lot lately too. Well, not like a lot of Beck, just kind of the popular songs. I should put that on though. Like I missed that out. The Odelay album. Like I listened to that a lot back in my early days. I need to listen to more Beck though, because I like his stuff. You know who else I have to look into a little more? I always forget to. You know what? His head needs to be angled a little bit differently. The person I need to listen to more Frank Zappa. My dad got me onto Frank Zappa a long time ago when I was a kid, and um, I'd love to dig a little deeper into their catalog, or his catalog, I should say. Make the back of his cranium a little bit bigger. Definitely need to do a better job of the underdrawing in future projects. No, I don't think requires that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe people will hate it, and I'll be like, "Yep, should have done more other stuff, other preparatory stuff." But I always forget he's got like mad kind of weapons on the back. I don't really know how to draw him from this angle though. Maybe I'll just skip it. I feel like it'll be awkward. I'll just pretend that it's not there. I wouldn't do that on like certain comics, but this one apparently I don't. I will. All right, time to draw Mr. Darby. I'm missing a page here. Where'd it go? This must be it. Here we go. Oops. No. Oh, come on. What? I swear, sometimes. All right. This is more like a ska song. I don't know much about ska. You guys ever listen to that? I guess it's very much related to punk, or punk is related to ska, or I haven't dug into ska very much. All right. You know, I'm going to change the direction of this whole thing because it doesn't look like it looks like it goes right through the path. And I want it to show like Darby's jumping over his little sword swipe situation. Yeah, so I'm kind of groggy this morning because last night I drank like Pepsi and stuff not too long before I went to bed. And so I took a Benadryl because I know sometimes that'll cause me to not sleep. And I wanted to make sure I slept. Um, yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. Um, yeah, I wanted to make sure I slept. Um, So yeah, I took a Benadryl. I just one, but sometimes it just gives me the extra little bit to sleep well. And I don't do that. I do that very rarely, but when I do, I even one like my wife could take a few of them and not even fall asleep. But me, it'll knock me. Usually, one will knock me out once in a great while. I might take two if I'm really like super wired or whatever. But all right, that makes more sense. Alrighty. I guess it's too early for people to wake up on a Saturday. What time is it? It's like 8:30. Oh, it's almost 9. I'm an early riser. That's why I call this the early bird art cast. Hopefully, I can attract some more early birds to come hang out with me because, you know, I know they're out there. I'm not the only one getting up early making art. It does seem that it's for most people are night owls, though. I don't think I'm still listening to Nerve Agents because this is not very Nerve Agents. No, it's not. I'm gonna go back and put on an album of theirs instead. So whoever was playing ska might probably wasn't even them. All right, let me get to the albums instead. Nerve Agent EP. Let me just do this one. They speaking about owls, the Day of the White Owl is one of their albums. Again, this is Kevin Cross's band. Check it out. They're on YouTube. I mean, they don't have like a YouTube channel per se, but you can find the music there on YouTube. Luckily, I have like YouTube Red, so I don't get any commercials. But they're probably on like Spotify, I would imagine, or whatever music service you tend to use. I don't know for sure though. All right, let's get back to Darby. Freaking love punk rock. It's so awesome. I'm so totally fell in love with it, especially I don't know this week even more than ever. I've been looking into like all these different like documentaries, and in fact, I might throw one on uh if people don't end up coming by and hanging out soon. But yeah, let's see. What have I been learning? I was learning about first of all, there's just certain bands that I've been really enjoying. The Germs, I love their music. Crass, really cool stuff. Um, they're almost sometimes not even exactly punk rock. It's weird, but they're still like what some of their stuff is so punk rocky, and I don't know. It's just an interesting band. Uh, Trying to think of what other bands have been really. I mean, I watched like some documentaries for like Dead Kennedys, Black Fat Flag, a lot of interviews and stuff. Um, so many things out there. I watched like a documentary of the it's supposed to be like a punk rock documentary for like Southern California, I think, but it was really all about this one club called the Cuckoo's Nest, um, which that was interesting too. Apparently it's one of the legendary punk rock clubs for like Southern California. I want to say it was in Orange County, could be wrong. In the early punk years, pretty somewhat early. I think it's the second wave of punk where that came kind of prominent. It's interesting because there's like these different almost generations of punk, and yeah, I don't know. I can't wait. I really hope I'm able to get Kevin on because I really want to talk to him about his experience with it and stuff. Um, I think he kind of came later, but you know, I don't really know. I think he was more in the like '90s, 2000s area when he like was really going at it with his bands and stuff. I'd really like to start on pages for the Corncob Rob story. I've written what I think is enough for next month, but it's not much. It doesn't really get too deep into the story, but it's enough for me to be like, hey, this is my comic for this month to be continued. But I want to give him a little bit more, I think. So we'll see. It's going to be cool visually, that's for sure. I hope. I want it to be. That's one thing too of how I can be like um getting the quality and hey, what's up, Fay? How you doing? Comics going good. Um I'm on page 6 right now. Uh oops. He's asking how far I am. Page 6 and I got two more to go after this. So you can see it's page 1, 2, 3. This is that 9 panel grid I was telling you about. This one's for the most part done. These all of these that I'm showing you here so far are about done. I mean, I do have to do some stuff, and I mean, I do want to color it, but I don't think I'm going to get to colors before I publish it on Patreon. So I might go back and do that later. Where's the other page? All right, here we go. Page 4. Again, pretty much done here. Page 5, pretty much done. I need to do some work on that, but whatever. And then this is page 6 I'm working on. So yeah. Fue, if you want to be added to the list of people that I send the link to come on the show from time to time, let me know. Um, and if you want to come on now, that'd be cool. If not, that's cool too. I'm sure you're busy. I know you got a lot of work you're doing. Um, but if you want to come on and chat for a little bit, I would certainly be more than happy to hang while I'm working on some comics. But yeah, it's going well. I'm happy with the progress. Today I'm gonna try to just I really want to get this page done, and then like I have a lot of things I want to do today, so I'm not gonna work 100% on comics today. Most likely. Cool. I'll add you to the list if you want. Um, I'll put another message in that list too, so that way it'll get renewed. It's on Facebook, and let's see, and I'll put a little thing in there so that you can see it now. If you want to click the link, you can jump in now, or you can do it another time. There we go. Just added you, Fue. Hey, it's Fue. All right. So there you go. The latest link in there is the one for that's going right now. So if you feel like jumping in, feel free. That'd be cool. Give me a few minutes. I can jump in and chat with you in just a second. Cool. Awesome. So if you guys don't know, Mr. Fue Storm is a pretty awesome dude. And he makes cool comics and he thinks deeply about writing and writes a lot of stories. And you should definitely check out his YouTube channel if you haven't. Because he's got a really awesome podcast on there and just a lot of awesome videos. And I don't know, his channel is definitely one of my favorites to watch, and he's got a great way of talking about stuff related to making comics and writing stories. And he's been on my channel before. We talked about story structure and stuff, but I'm gonna grab his link to his channel right now and add it. Let's see. Let me go to Creator Studio and edit this video. I don't know if I can do it here without losing it. I can, but I think I'll lose the chat. I'll just go back to it. No big deal. All right. I'm going to start adding people uh, to the list of people who come on the show live. And as you come on the show, your name will be added to the show notes and it won't go away for the live streams. I'll keep you up there. I'll try to at least. So, let's see. Save changes. All changes saved. All right. Cool. Now, Fue Storm's link is in the description if you want to check out his channel. And if all goes well, she'll be on here soon. Let me turn the music off so I can hear him when he comes in. Do 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 do. Cool. All right. Back to the old comics. Maybe I'll put like a little link to the timestamp too when Fue comes in, so like people who are watching this on the replay can just click that to that part if they're bored of hearing me talk. After the fact. All right. Do 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 do. Oops. All right. Let's see. You know what? I don't want to draw the hair first. Doesn't make sense. All right. So let's see. One thing I have a lot of trouble with is putting the eyeballs in the right place. That is something that I'm not great at. I mean, I'm getting better. One thing about making comics that's awesome is you will become a better artist just by making comics because you have to practice drawing everything under the sun. And so, I know I'll get better. But yeah, putting those eyes in the sometimes I have it almost looks like my characters are either they have like a lazy eye or um, they just don't look like they're looking in the right direction. Trying to get better at it, but that does happen sometimes. Yesterday, I was, working and stuff, driving, and I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I went. I happened to be near a BAM store. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's called BAM. Is it BAM or I think it's called BAM. It's yeah, Books a Million, and the acronym is BAM or whatever. And I've never been in one of those stores before. They only have one in Connecticut that I know of, and but something that's cool about BAM is they have a lot of comics. And another thing that's really cool about BAM, I didn't know that they have a lot of comics, but one thing I did know about BAM is that they carry Alterna comics. I think all the stores do. It's kind of weird um, because there's like a comic section and they have a huge array of comics and manga. I was really surprised to see how much they had. I didn't know that. Um, and And I actually really like how I drew this head. um, but the Alterna comics are not with the other comics, which I thought was really weird. I mean, it makes sense, but it's interesting. They are. I mean, it makes sense because I know that um, Alterna, you know, put stuff on newsstands, and when they go to a place like that, you know, they go the newsstand route, and you know, I just it's in the section with the magazines, and compared to the other comics, they look all ratty and bent up, sort of. I mean, it's not Alterna's fault. It's because those magazines just don't, you know, people pick them up and put them down, and they kind of abuse them. Think Hangouts hates you. Yeah, I think I remember when we did our video last time, you had troubles getting in as well. Yeah, I try different things. Sometimes I have issues too. I use sometimes I have like a couple different computers, which sounds like I have a lot, but they're all crappy computers, and a lot of times they don't work in certain ways. So I just keep trying the other. I have two computers, and I try each one, and then if those don't work, I try to just use my cell phone. Um, and if you have a smartphone, I can send you a request, and you have to like download the Hangouts app and kind of go on there. It's not easy, sort of. It's kind of a pain, but I've done Hangouts through my cell phone many, many times, so that might be an option. But I think I have to like send you a request or something, like a friend, not a friend request, but like an invite is what I need to send. Um, Maybe even I could send you an invite through this too. Here, let me try to do that. I'll add your name and see if that works. Fue. Add names or email address. Okay, Fue. Your name doesn't come up. I think I have to be like connected with you on Google or something, which is so dumb. If you want to send me your email address that you use for your YouTube channel, I can put that in and send you an invite that way. You don't have a smartphone, yeah, that you can use. That's fine. Yeah. Um, okay. So yeah, if you want to send me that email, either I don't know through a private message or however you want to send it, um, I can send you an invite that way, and maybe that'll work. Do 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 do. I wonder why Hangouts doesn't work sometimes. It's funny. I was um as I'm looking into this punk stuff, it makes me think of okay, cool, I'll check it out on Facebook. Um it makes me think of it may for some reason it made me think of the group The Streets, which isn't a punk rock band. It's like a UK hip hop band, and cool. All right. And it's really I don't know, I love it. And it's just really one guy, Mike Skinner. Um and it's just unique. It's a very unique for style of hip hop. he specifically wanted to make it sound like it came from the UK. And so he used a lot of garage music influence in his beats and stuff mixed with the hip hop. And to me, like, kind of his delivery, like how he raps and stuff, reminds me of punk. All right, I just sent you an invite. I don't know where that goes, if it goes to your YouTube or your email, probably to your email. So, and so I looked up garage music because I was like, okay, I thought, I didn't know that he was talking about a specific kind of music, like when I was listening to the songs. Um, so, I barely looked into garage music just to see what that was, and so I still don't know 100% what it is, but now it makes sense, you know, that that's part of the influence of what he puts in his music because I recognize it, it does sound like that. So that was interesting. Um, to me, I feel like he's almost like a punk rock. Like to me, your music doesn't have to sound punk rock for you to be punk rock. It could be anything. Like it doesn't even have to be music, just any kind of expression of art. If you do it in a certain way, I feel like it's punk rock. Um, because the whole ethos, of just like do it yourself, not letting anything stop you um, from doing what you want to do. Um, and just make stopping kind of stopping the excuses, or stop letting the excuses get to you and just making the thing that you want to make. um, to me, that's punk rock. That's that and other things. There's other elements, doesn't even have to be rock music. I mean, obviously there's a certain sound that, you know sounds like punk rock, but I heard one of the guys from Crass was even saying like some punk rock music that like sounds like what you think of as punk rock, the actual punk rock style of music isn't even punk rock, because it doesn't have like that attitude or whatever. So I totally agree, you know. I mean, I don't know if I could kind of judge because I'm still very new to it, but I agree that could be a possibility, So so inspiring. If you're not inspired when you come to learn more about punk rock, then I don't know. I think all real art almost is punk rock to a certain degree. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's not right, but a lot can be. Like, I don't know. I don't really know if I should try to get into it because I don't really know if I know what I'm talking about to a certain degree. But I was going to say, like, maybe like the Renaissance papers. Renaissance papers, really? The Renaissance painters? Maybe they're not so much punk rock. They're like commercial artists. But I'm sure some of them did some pretty punk rock things. But people like, I feel like, someone like the Expressionists, you know, that kind of broke away from that. That's punk rock to me. And that doesn't mean that those, Renaissance painters' art wasn't valid. There's obviously some awesome things we gained from, I mean, that from that. but maybe in some ways they could be considered punk rock to a certain degree. I'm talking about obviously the ethos, and I mean, punk rock didn't exist back then, um, but yeah, like the expressionists, like the people who kind of go against the system, people who like subvert expectations, especially if there's like a passion and a meaning behind it, you know? I don't know. To me, that's punk rock. I think comics have many times been very punk rock. I'm not going to sit here and like just evaluate every form of art and judge whether it's punk rock or not. But hopefully you get what I'm saying. Hate to say it, but I don't have a smart. Oh wait, that's on Facebook. Looks like the Google overlords don't want me to join in the chat. Hello, but it's cool. We can sort it out some other time when Hangouts learns to like me. Cool, man. I appreciate you trying to come on. And again, like I did put the link in the video for Fue. You should definitely check out his channel if you haven't. Fue is punk rock. No, I don't know. I don't. I'm not really trying to like get all into that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Fue is an awesome dude. You gotta check out his stuff. Um, and yeah, Fue, you and by the way, like I didn't respond yet to your video, um, but um, I will, and I just haven't gotten to it. But I know you understand. But I did have some things I wanted to say. Just little things, nothing big. Um, I feel like I had something else I wanted to say there too, but I can't remember. Let's see. Whoa, deleted everything by accident for a second there. That's not what I want. Nah. I'm finding it hard though to find like reference. Like I'm trying to look up like kind of art or like the album covers from rock, and I want to go like really deep because they have like a big part of the culture, at least from like when I was growing up, that I remember. Um, and you know, this is like in somewhere around 97, 95, or I don't know, maybe like 96, 97, 98, around that time. I had some friends who were, in punk rock bands and stuff. And I saw like what they were doing, and I thought it was really cool. But I was so deeply into hip hop and making hip hop at that time that you know I only barely dug into it. But I did think it was cool what they were doing, and they were like pressing their own vinyl, and they were the 45s and stuff like that, and they were making their own record sleeves, Xerox things, and I saw other people's stuff, and I thought it was super cool and creative, and I didn't really get what I was seeing at that point. I wish I did. If I did, I probably would have gotten into the music, doing the music as well, because that's how I am. But again, I was so enamored with hip hop at that point. Um, but I just think it's so cool, like how they would press up the whole DIY thing. And I definitely want to do that. Like, um, I'll put it this way: I've definitely been inspired to make some music from checking out the punk rock stuff. So again, I'm not gonna get too deep into this stuff until I actually make what I'm gonna make. But that's like a little hint of what I'm interested in messing with. Kind of on my little like secret project I was talking about earlier. And hopefully, if all goes well, you'll hear about it very soon, because I'm taking that punk rock ethos to everything I'm doing these days. So that means that things will happen quick, hopefully. If all goes well. So yeah, just seeing that, it's kind of, I love that I did see that like at a young age. So even though I didn't get deeply into it, I understand, like I have a little bit of like tactile experience of witnessing some of it happen, and I hung out with some of these punk rock guys a little bit. It was mostly because my sister-in-law, not she wasn't my sister-in-law then, but now she is, was dating a guy in a punk rock band, and also my wife was friends with somebody in a punk rock band. So um and funny enough, I actually I started a bank account with one of the guys because we wanted to like create our own studio. And so we're like, okay, we're gonna make money and put it into this bank account and blah blah blah. And we never did anything with it. It was weird. And then we, shut it down at one point. And I don't know why that never happened, but it didn't. And you know, it is what it is. But I miss those guys. I wish we could still hang out with them, but we've all gone our different ways or whatever. Um, and I wonder, like, how much that punk rock scene is going on nowadays. Like, I'm sure it's still thriving in different ways. Obviously, since then, there's been a lot of commercial punk rock and stuff. And speaking about that, there's a apparently like some one of the guys like kind of involved with Green Day created this documentary called Turn It Around, I think it was called. And I don't know, it looks pretty good, and it's about like the East Bay area punk rock scene. And I know like for some probably punk rock people, like anything having to do with Green Day is probably like blasphemous. I don't know. But one thing that it's weird, it depends on who you talk to, I guess. Because it seems like some people who even come from back in the days, from what I can tell, um, they actually are cool with the commercialism, which is weird because I've always thought punk rock, like pure punkers, or I don't know if that's a term, but pure punk rock people are like um, kind of against commercialism, maybe. I don't know. I might be misrepresenting that, but it seems like they kind of are. or were at one point, or some groups are and some groups aren't. But yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. But I think that that documentary, I bet, is still interesting, even if it's a little bit tainted by a commercial kind of spin. And that's sort of the area that I think Kevin came from. I don't know exactly which area, but I know he came from like the Bay Area, San Francisco stuff or something. Stuff I want to talk to him about in the interview when we do it. James, what's up? Neil Adams once said in a documentary called Secret Origins, the story of DC Comics, that sometimes you need to be punk. Advice to live by, if you ask me. That's what Fue said. That's awesome. James, if you have the ability and want to pop in, feel free. The link is in the message thing. I know. I think you said you're not able to yet, so that's fine. But you know, the invitation's there. How you doing, man? This lovely morning. I think everybody's sleeping in. I kind of slept in. I slept till 7:30. That's sleeping in for me. I could have probably slept more, but once I wake up, I kind of have a hard time going back to sleep usually. Do 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 do. The way I'm drawing, a lot of this stuff I don't actually recommend. I like to do gesture first, which I mean I kind of did with the under drawings, but I'm also kind of making a lot of it up as I go. Um, but yeah, I like to do gesture, then form, then detail, and I kind of skipped the gesture form stuff and went right to detail, which is how, that's how like a newbie kind of draws, in my opinion. Like for me, like at least for me, a lot of like I always started with the detail as a kid, as I was younger at making arts. I've learned since that I feel like there's kind of an order to it that makes more sense, which is gesture first, then start working on the form, get that down, and then last, very last, go to detail. I break that rule a lot. In this comic, I'm kind of purposefully breaking that rule, but I actually really like how this is coming out. This panel's got some fun to it. I met Green Day by accident. It was way before they were popular. They're awesome in my opinion. They seem like really cool dudes to me. And I've always like, well, I shouldn't say I always like. I didn't used to like the punk sound when I was younger, but since I've warmed up to that sound, I actually do like their music. I don't think of them as like hardcore punk or you know, kind of the any like super deep punk. They're just pop music influenced by punk. That's kind of what I think, and I'm cool with that. And I know they were, you know, they really rose up from that kind of punk um, scene. I think even Kevin has talked about he kind of knew them because they were around where he when he was around and stuff, kind of building their stuff up. Trying to get my camera hooked up to my laptop, but I can't find a proper cord for it. I have to search Amazon soon, though. Cool, man. Oh, there go the sirens again. I swear you'd think that I live in like New York City or something with all the sirens going by half the time. But this is actually like a kind of a rural area, but it's like kind of ghetto too. It's weird. All right, I have to. It's kind of weird having this here. Kind of messes up this part. I guess I could just put it higher. I kind of want to put these people back here like silhouetted and kind of cheering them on. Or cheering on. They're actually cheering on the bad guy, I guess, but I don't want to go too crazy with it. But I want to make it obvious at least. Jeez, what the heck is going on outside? Hopefully everybody's okay. Hopefully I can make it in a way so that I can just like click the bucket tool and black it all out. I think that's good enough. Hopefully that does the trick. Maybe I can pop a couple more heads back out here or something. Yeah, I think that'll do the trick. Let's get that bucket tool in here. Oh, let me close up some lines first. Jeez, I swear. I mean, people are, they need to take care of people, I know, but it just seems like a lot of activity today. All right, get that bucket tool. This one, yes, that worked too. Sweet. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Love it when a plan comes together. I'll check the chat out in a sec too. Once I get all these blacked in. Ah, there we go. That's what I was hoping to avoid. Forgot to close that. G. Oops. G. Cool. Let's see how that looks when I zoom out a bit. Looking good. Getting there. It's good enough, I think. Oh, black in there. Cool. Hey, what's up, Mike? Hey, Mike, if you want to be added to the chat list of people who, I put a link for the live videos that I'm doing. I have a group on Facebook, not a group, but private message thing on Facebook. So I'll post the link in there, and if anybody happens to be available when I do these, they're more than welcome to come in. I can add you to the list if you want. And also, if you want to come on now, that'd be cool too. It's up to you. Haven't had my coffee yet, so word's not in. Oh, he's talking to Mike. Okay, gotcha. They're talking to each other. Oh, you're going to the fair? That's cool. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. What kind of fair is it? Is it like an art fair or kind of a fall festival type fair? Is it technically fall yet? I don't even know. I know we have a lot of that kind of stuff in my area. Connecticut is beautiful in the fall. Like whatever you think of when you think of the fall with all the colors and the trees and the leaves and stuff. Pumpkin patches and apple orchards and all that stuff. That's Connecticut right there. That's like one of the best parts about where I live. Don't love the winter, but the fall is really nice. Talking weather here on the Artcast. Woo! That's all right. Other Artcasts do it all the time, too. As lame as talking about the weather is, it is kind of a good way to break the ice and to chat with people. So sometimes I just feel like it's a little bit lame, but it's nice when you got those awkward moments. It's like an easy go to. Talking about the weather. I'm a weirdo. All right. Put some buildings in there. I really got to draw these buildings, more buildings than I thought I was going to, because I put this swipe thing on in a whole different area. Cool. You want to be added? Can't get on today, but in the future for sure. Awesome. You grew up in Massachusetts? That's cool. Yeah. Mass is definitely, it's right next to us. So, which area, if you don't mind, asking of Massachusetts? Cool. Do. All right. I'm gonna add you real quick so I don't forget to the list, even though you can't do it right now. Do. Monkey Jaw Projects live stream list. All right, here we go. Mikers. Mike was on my show. Was it last weekend? Wasn't long ago. All right, you are added to the list now, Mike. Now let's see if I can see exactly when, since I'm here. Do 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 do. Mic was on. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. September 2nd. So that's it's the 15th today. So I don't know, maybe it was like 2 weeks ago, I guess. Up in Mass. I was walking distance from Vermont. Oh wow. At the base of Mohawk Trail. Beautiful place. That's cool. New England is a pretty cool place in the fall for sure. All right, where am I? Cool. But I've never been to Boston in the fall. If you get that reference, um, and you get a prize. I don't know. But if you get that reference, it's yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's not super obscure. It's obscure to the world, but it's not super obscure to certain people. Maybe comes from something pretty popular in a specific group of people. Let's see. Why is this not? All right, here we go. I've definitely been to Boston in the fall. I think I've been to Boston in the fall. I went for the 4th of July one year. I haven't been to Boston a lot, but I know. I bet. I'm sure one of the times I've been to Boston, it's been in the fall. I've been there for like school trips, I think, and that was probably in the fall. Not that it matters. It's just funny. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I kind of hate drawing buildings, like silhouette buildings too, because like you kind of get to this point where you're like, okay, I need like a new shape or something, or like I don't know. I wonder if I should put like a little border here, sort of. Kind of makes sense too, doesn't it? The only thing is, if I do that, I probably should put this one here instead. Well, maybe I won't get a full page done today. I don't know. I really got to rock and roll on this comic, but I also have other things I have to do. I have to get my commissions done and sent out. This little area is bothering me. Just gotta erase that bad boy. Definitely already put my time in for the day, but the weekends is, excuse me, when I have the opportunity to do the most damage on these. So it's like kind of torn, you know. I have other things I'd really like to get to, but at the same time, this has to get done too. It's definitely a priority. But does it take the place of other priorities? I don't know. It has to get done sometime this month, even if it's the last day of the month. I got half of the month left, but I think I can still do it. It does come from Veggie Tales. Fway. You got it. I'm in upstate New York now, but it's not quite the same. The Berkshire Hills in Mass explode with color in the autumn. Yeah, I didn't know that that's not the same. I would think it would be, but maybe not. Um, I go to Albany a decent amount. My job has a branch in Albany, so I have to drive up there sometimes. Um, but I don't know. Sounds like you're probably way far away from that. I think North New York State is New York's huge. The state of New York, so probably kind of really far from that. I think this panel's done though. Oh, I didn't put spikes here. I need some spikes. Do 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 do. I'm not being super consistent with the outfit, but this part I feel like is kind of necessary. Do 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 do. I don't know how many people know about VeggieTales. I mean, I know it's a Christian show, um, technically, but I think that it's popular even outside of Christianity. I don't really know. Mhm. It's fun to make comics like this where you're not like super concerned with making it look amazingly pretty and you're just getting stuff done. I don't know. I think that everybody should try doing it kind of this way at some point too. Well, I shouldn't say should, but I think it would be a benefit if somebody tries to do it this way. I mean, I guess in some ways everybody does try this because, you know, most people, because most people do like thumbnails and stuff. And, whoops. And that's, this is for some people's thumbnails are even more beautiful than this. Some people are crazy with their thumbnails, but, you know, for some people, this is about to where their thumbnail style is. Some people, it's way less than this, too. Kind of like me, I tend to be more on the way less side of things. Uh, let's see, what time is it? 10 o'clock. Hmm. Veggie Tales are awesome. Larry Boy is one of my faves. Yeah. You'd love to do flats or even full colors for me? Yeah. Hit me up. Let me know. I'd love to see some samples of your stuff, but I mean, flats, I don't even need samples of. But I mean, if you want to help in that way, that would be amazing. I mean, I'd always want to pay somebody to do something like that, you know, but I don't have any money for that. But I don't know. Maybe we could work something out. Um, But yeah, hit me up for sure. I'd love to. I wish I had the time to help people. I was actually trying to help CB Smallwood with some coloring, and once I did it, like the flats, maybe I'm just too slow, but it took me like a whole day just to do flats, and I was like, you know what, dude, I wish I could help, but I don't. I really, unfortunately, I think I overcommitted on this, and I don't. I mean, I didn't even commit. I told them that I might try to do it, so it wasn't like a big deal. But um, you know, I was just like, dude, I don't think I can. I don't unfortunately have the time. I wanted to help, but yeah, I'd love to check out some samples of your color work, and also, you know, but of course, flats are definitely always welcome because that is. I'm not super like particular with like I shouldn't say particular, but like I'm not like I don't need super detailed rendered colors or anything. I don't even plan to do super detailed rendered colors, but it depends on the project. I do like to focus on mood, or I want to focus on mood and like really getting kind of the colors right. But, you know, I don't know that I always want it depends on the project, but, rendering colors is kind of optional for me. It doesn't have to be like super crazy rendered. I'm even thinking of doing some things in just flat colors. So I don't know. There's so many different ways to do it. I was thinking about this the other day. Like the more detailed the work is, it seems like uh, the more you can get away with the flat colors because that kind of then you get to see the lines better. But if you have like super rendered colors over super like a lot of line like heavy line rendering, um, it kind of I think the line rendering takes away from the colors and the colors take away from the line rendering. It kind of I don't know, it's too much sometimes. Not always. I mean, it depends. But, you know, it's just one thing I've noticed. But of course, you can do all kinds of different combinations. Do 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 do. Uh, I'm free. I'll tell you about it in private later. Cool. Thanks, man. You rock. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I don't know why that's. Oh, we were talking about Boston. That's why that's in my head. Or we were talking about fall. And there's like certain things, like, I don't know, like, there's certain things that I kind of grew up with, or just movies, TV shows, music, things that just happen in my family that like they're like personal memes. Like that one, whenever I think of fall or Boston, I might start singing that Veggie Tales thing. And there's like all these other little things too, like certain things that only me and my wife, or my wife and some of our family members like know, that I'll say that. I also like to say like really random things. It kind of, I don't know, like with my wife, like, I don't know how I can explain it, but like it's hard to say, but like I just like sometimes I'll say like the wrong word for something, but because of the context, I'm talking about something totally different. But that's the word that came to my mind, and like in front of most people, I wouldn't say it, because it's just like they'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But like in front of my wife, I like to be goofy and stuff, and I'll say like these weird. It's not like weird like in a bad sense, but just silly, goofy stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun. Like that's like having like almost personal memes with certain people and stuff. Like today, I was eating. I hadn't had Frosted Flakes in a long time, and there was a sale on cereal or whatever, and so I ended up getting Frosted Flakes, which is weird. I rarely ever have sugary cereals. Um, Even growing up, we weren't really allowed to have that kind of cereal. Um, but I got some Frosted Flakes, and I enjoyed them before I sat down and did this. And I was thinking about like um, Christmas Vacation, the movie, the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I mean, I basically have that movie memorized. It's definitely one of the movies I watch multiple times every Christmas. Um, and I just couldn't help. I couldn't stop but thinking about like the whole cereal varnish thing, because what's his name is like that's like his big invention or whatever is like the cereal varnish, and then he sleds down. He uses it to sled down a snowbank or whatever snow hill. It's just funny. I'm sure you guys know about that. It's such a popular thing. I don't love drawing Darby because of his beard, but it comes out decent every time I do it. And so after it's done, I like it. But I don't think I love drawing beards. I don't know. It just seems like I get lost. Like I lose sometimes the form of his face because I'm too focused on like drawing these little beard edges. I think I'm gonna have to make his face smaller here. I'm drawing it too big, I think. Also, just like, I don't know, getting that like randomness in of like beard hairs going different ways. Hair too, just any kind of hair is always a struggle for me still, but I'm getting used to it a little bit here and there. Love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah, man, it's so awesome. Every married couple should have their own I know, right? Their own language. We definitely do. It's funny because we'll laugh at the same exact spots like in shows, and it's like I don't know. It's like random stuff too. It's not like it doesn't have any like. It's not like what maybe the producers of the show were like saying. Oh, this will be a big laugh, but you know we are around each other so much. We have similar sense of our like sense of humor has merged. I guess. Yeah, inside jokes and stuff. Exactly. Beards are great in my opinion because you don't have to be as precise with the jawline. Yeah, well, I think if I was doing more on drawing the form here, um, like the way I probably should be drawing it, uh, I probably I could see what you mean and probably would agree. But I haven't been really going crazy with the under drawing. This one, I kind of took a a little bit of a break yesterday from like social media type stuff, I guess. I don't know, I guess. Didn't really like I was just researching punk stuff as I was doing my job, like driving around and stuff. Like I just listened to videos and stuff a lot. And I just didn't even look at my subscription, my YouTube subscription. So I missed a lot of shows, a lot of videos that I would normally like to watch. And sometimes I have to do that though. It's like, ugh, I can't catch everything, you know. I want to, but all right, let's see. Most important thing here is I got to get these kind of like this powerful arms going. So, what are you guys up to? Are you guys working on art or writing or your projects today, or just kind of getting up, seeing what happens? Doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm sure people are going to feel that way about my um, these morning art casts too. Like, it's the type of video where like you don't necessarily have to watch everyone, but at the same time, like these kind of videos, like when there are people I'm following, it's like sometimes I'm like, I hope I don't miss something, you know. But you know, there's a lot of just random chatting that kind of goes on in these kind of videos, and it's actually sometimes pretty cool thing. Like you can get a lot from these videos from other artists. Like you can learn things. Like there's certain things like sometimes I'm looking up like a tutorial or something on how to do something and I can't find it. Like for instance, like how to draw a crowd scene. I've looked that up on YouTube before and there's literally almost no videos on that. And people always talk about you know how crowd scenes are so hard and stuff, but so you would think that there would be somebody doing tutorials on it. Um but I think they're so hard that people avoid them and last and when they do have to draw them, the last thing they're thinking of is, oh, I should make a tutorial on this too. You know, they're just trying to get through it, you know. So I get it. But like it makes me want to do a tutorial because since nobody else is doing it, you know, but I got to learn how to do it first cuz I'm like the same in the same boat. Like I'm just trying to get through it when I have to. And one thing too, I keep writing like hard things into to like when I write my stories, I keep writing stuff that's going to be a challenge for me to actually draw. Like this what do you call it? The corncob Rob story. I'm like writing it and thinking, "Oh, this is cool, blah blah blah." And then I realized the other day, I'm like, "Oh crap, I put this in a city again, didn't I?" It's like now I got to draw the people in the city and all the buildings and the perspective, and it's like, oh, why do I keep drawing stories in cities? But it's like such a default, you know, like so many comic book stories take place in cities, so it's like can't help but just like almost default to that setting, you know. And I mean, I'll have to like if I want to not draw a city for this next story, I'm just gonna have to like do total rewrite, which not that my that would be all that hard, but I don't think I think I want to keep it the way it is. So trying to find ways to cheat at drawing like cityscapes or like crowd scenes and stuff is definitely something that could be helpful. You know, kind of hacks. I don't. I guess probably shouldn't say cheat. But hacks to doing it. And then I go and reference other comics, like, oh, this person's an amazing artist. They probably know how to draw, a mean crowd scene or whatever. And then what I notice is like people, like comic book artists, they really like, I don't know, a lot of comic book artists, it seems like they just really cop out on the background drawings. I don't know if cop out's the right word, but they really like they use every trick in the book to not have to draw a crowd scene or like tons of backgrounds. I mean, the point, really, the key, I think, is to kind of make sure you get good establishing shots in, and then you don't almost have to draw any backgrounds for a lot of the stuff until you go to the next like scene. But I don't know. I like to have some establishing shot type, like even just this, like, I mean, it's not much, but it gives you an idea of where they are in the environment up top here. And then the rest of this page, really, you don't need any background. Let's see the other pages I'm working on. This one has no backgrounds at all, but it does establish it in the one before it a little bit. I was actually wondering if I established it enough or not. He's like walking out of the building here in the top left panel, and then for the next few panels, there's no environment until you get this silhouette situation back here. And I hope that those two moments are enough to establish what's going on here. And then I come back here and reestablish it, reinforce it with this top panel. See what I mean? And here the backgrounds are good in this third page. This one obviously has got plenty of backgrounds, enough to establish things. And this one does too, I think, even though it's pretty simple. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, kind of the ebb and flow of establishing shots versus no background panels. You're doing a pick for Robert Marzullo's contest. Awesome. You're in the coloring stages. That's cool, man. Good luck with that, because I didn't even know about it, but there's so many things that happen, these contests and raffles and stuff, and it's just like I can only focus on so many things, so I haven't really checked it out, but I do think I remember hearing something about it a few times. Online artists get very uncomfortable when you mention crowd scenes. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. Gotta go. Awesome hanging out with you. Thanks, man, for hanging, James. Cool. So, I think I put this guy's eyes in the wrong place again. Darby's eyes. I guess that's all right. It's just kind of a placeholder. Actually, this eye I'm erasing now maybe is okay. I gotta put this one more at the bottom too. There we go. Cool. And with that, James is leaving. I'm thinking maybe I'll finish this. Let this finish. I think I've been on here for a couple hours now, so um, and it's not. I haven't had like a ton of exciting things to talk about, so I think I'll let it go here. And I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me and chatting. And sometimes it takes a while for these things to ramp up, which is okay. I think that's totally cool. But that's how it's going to be sometimes. The beginning of the art cast or whatever might be quiet, but then it'll ramp up a little bit. So it's worth watching. Maybe fast forward a little bit if you don't want to hear the beginning parts. See if you can kind of catch me talking about something interesting or whatever. But yeah, either way, I really appreciate everybody checking this stuff out. Again, if you want to read this and other comics that I do every month, you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/DonkeyJawProjects. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, Fue, for hanging out. James, Mike was in here. Was that it? I feel like there was somebody else. Nope, that was it. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and people on the replay. Feel free to comment if you had any thoughts on anything. And I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a great day, great weekend. I might podcast do it tomorrow too. I don't know. We'll see. All right, later, guys.